2025 regular session. Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Delegation speakers, we don't have any. Discussions items, board members, reports, and presentation. Do we have any? No. Next item is the personnel agenda. It goes over pretty far. It's additions of the personnel agenda was given to us too, if you've had a chance to look at those.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Motion by Angie to accept. Second by Ed. Okay, any discussion concerning personnel? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Next is the volunteer agenda. We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
A second.
I will second.
Do you have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Next item is the finance, allowing authorization payment of bills, budget revisions. Invoices presented for payment are available in the finance office during normal business day. Motion by Larkin, second by Angie. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The action item is a request to allow payment of utility bills as they are received by the McDowell County Board of Education. A listing of payment will be provided periodically to the board for information purposes. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a quick thing. So we're going to pay them as they come in. We don't currently do that?
We do, but every year, the first meeting of July, that's you
Right.
just approve it as a board, so that we don't have to wait for you to approve these bills. We pay them as they come in, and then at the board meeting, you still will see them on the bills listings.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The next item is the approval of purchase fuel for the 2025-2026 school year for the Transportation Department for $427,000. Motion by Larkin. Second by
Second.
all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of purchase order for summer meal boxes, UMOJA Supply Chain Solutions, LLC, DBA, UMOJA Health, for $476,000. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any questions?
Just a quick comment. I'm told this is a very successful thing, and we've got a lot of happy people that we're doing it.
Yeah, we actually saw this idea in Wyoming County Schools. They were piloting it, and so we just asked Mr. Lester. He was able to get the bids out, and so because it gets more challenging because of our roads and of our locale to get people, but we have a company, and we do have quite a lot of happy customers. So we are happy that we're able to get the kids the meals, because it's always the
Okay.
worry.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Set the day, time of 2025-2026 board meetings.
So before you vote, I have provided you with proposed board agendas, and at the last board meeting, you wanted to continue meeting first and third weeks of the month, and you wanted to meet on Thursdays. So I have created a schedule, but as I was creating a schedule, there were a couple of things, the schedule changes I ran into, so I wanted for you to have the schedules. One is the schedule, proposed board meeting schedule 1, and on the highlights, you see that those are the changes from the usual first and third week of the month. So on Thursday, because we wanted to have July 10th as the board meeting, I thought that it would be prudent for us to have the second meeting on the 24th, because you don't want to come back next week. It just does not give much time for you to review anything. The next highlight is the January meetings. January 1st is a Thursday. So that's where you have two different schedules. On Schedule 1, I pushed that first meeting to January 8th, which again proved that, made sure that January 22nd would be your next meeting, so you would skip a week. On the second one, I moved January 1st, which is a holiday meeting, to January 2nd, which is a Friday, which then would maintain your third of the month Thursday meeting for January. And the next highlighted one is June. As you know, June 4th is the graduation. So you would all go to Riverview or Mountain View High Schools for graduations. So I followed the same, either moving this to June 11th, which is next Thursday, or moving it to June 5th, which is just Friday, the next day from June 4th, which is original. But in June, we always try to get as close to the end of the month for the finance to pay their bills in June. So those two meetings on Schedule 1, Schedule 2, June 25th is the same date. So just did not know if you wanted to have these three occasions where you would have second and fourth Thursday of the month for meetings, or you just wanted to meet on Friday on those two occasions instead of Thursday. And it's your preference. I'm here, so it's up to you as a board to discuss and vote. In addition, I also mentioned in an email that Mr. Evans was proposing to meet at 4 earlier instead of a 5 o'clock time, so that he could make another commitment of his on a Thursday. So these are just some bits of information for
You
you
can
to
make
start
it.
discussing.
So usually home early on Thursdays.
Okay, so the scheduling of the board meetings. Also, if we want to approve Schedule 1 or 2.
I'll make a motion to approve Schedule 1 and make it at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Make a motion to Schedule 1 at 4.
I see.
I'm okay with this.
Okay. So do we want to start at 4 o'clock next meeting?
Please.
Okay, any questions? If none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Elect to participate or not participate in workers' compensation. We don't currently do that. The workers' comp,
Correct.
I make a
so,
motion that we do not participate.
okay. Angie, who second?
Second.
Is there any advantage or disadvantage to us doing that?
Oh, no, we just
Really?
never did, because
I mean, what?
I think they said that
I just
usually
don't
we have our own
understand why we
insurance.
would be in.
Well, if you're in buildings and, something happens, which usually will still be covered under our insurance anyways, but this is just that extra.
Paperwork, no.
Well, this is your right to have that, but you can just.
Do what?
Paperwork and expense.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Set compensation per meeting for the board members. we're currently at 160, and the legislature approved 260 per meeting across the state. So, do you want to do what the legislature voted to?
I move that we follow the legislative law.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Appoint the SESC representative. Does anybody want to do that?
What is that?
What used to be a
They need to
RISA,
give me
so
that.
it's
Used to be
like-
RISA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
You want
So
to
they
do it?
meet like every month.
What's the commitment, monthly meeting? that
It's
one?
usually monthly meetings. We can do
That's
teams, so you can do.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ed as the representative. Second.
Good luck. I went to the first meeting, I never got anything.
I'm sure.
Totally nothing after that.
I went to several RISA meetings.
I
Well,
used to go to them.
Also
They
been
were-
appointed as SCSC board president, so,
I'm sorry.
which is a tag team. And I have been appointed as SCSC board president, so.
I went to several RISA meetings when I was in the legislature.
I think it helps to see the
Yeah.
multi-county,
Yeah.
initiatives.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Next one is to appoint representative serve on the WVU McDowell County Extension Service Committee. I currently do it, I don't mind doing it. If somebody wants to nominate, unless somebody else wants it.
I make a motion for Georgia, if you be on the board.
Second.
Who's second, I'm sorry.
Ed? In favor? Do the vote.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Yeah, next one.
The next one is to appoint a representative to serve on the Criminal Justice Board. That's what Angie is currently doing.
I make a motion to keep Angie.
Second.
Okay, any questions, discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approval of place revised policy 7-015, board member compensation up for comment.
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Just wanted to also explain that last year, we already had some language, we had to create the policy about the compensation because the legislature, after they've put these things in, then the legal advice that we create the policy and say no current board members would be eligible for this because you cannot vote on a raise for yourself. So this year, the legislature, they have amended that language and said your board members get 260. So in our policy, we have the language that no current board members will get, so we are striking that out. You're still okay with what you have voted because it's already in the law, but we just need to clean up our policy.
Okay. Approval of the 2025-2026 collaborative agreement, McDowell County Board of Education pre-K program and Coalfield Community Action Partnership serving McDowell County Head Start. Do you have a motion to approve the agreement?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And now we have the superintendent update.
If I may, just one more. You'd sent out the administrator's schedule for, I can't remember the name of it. It's additional money, whatever. I forgot what it is. Gosh. I don't even know what it's for. Some bump in the salary for something. I don't know. We had an old policy and we were redoing it. You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, you have the salary schedules.
Yes.
Mhm.
Do we not have that for this meeting?
You had it in your packet.
Right. Well, that was
So
in
that was-
last week's packet. I got confused.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, you got it. Angie has it in case you want to look at it. Thank you. She has it in her packet.
Yeah.
So just look at your calendars. Friday, July 25th at 6 o'clock is the LPN graduation. It will be at Mount View High School Auditorium. It's always a very nice ceremony. So it's at 6 p.m. July 25th,
5th or 6th?
5th. It's on Friday
At what time did you say?
at 6 p.m. and it's at Mount View High School Auditorium. So you're invited to the graduation. As you know, we have started our summer school. It has been very successful. We have around 240 students enrolled at Mount View and then the Bradshaw Elementary sites, as well as CTC. Probably you see the pictures of them engaging in different activities. I think we have some students in middle school, the low ones, that weld better than our high school students, they're really excited, they want to be welders. So Ms. Payton and I have been already discussing maybe the schedule of how to take these middle school students at least once every so many weeks to CTC to be in the shops and to just keep on being excited about the trade. So we are really excited about our summer school. So I also wanted to give you some of the funding updates. You might have seen it on the news, but the U.S. Department of Education has not released some of our title funds. The following funding services have been impacted. Title 2A, which is supporting effective instruction, and for us, Title 4A, which is student support and academic enrichment. So Ms. Payton and I have sat down with Ms. Khan, and we are going to be looking at some of the non-negotiables that usually we put into those grants. So we'll have to look at the appropriate uses for that, or just not do the things that we have just projected doing if we had those funds.
What is the amount we're talking about?
What is the amount?
In Title V, it's Title 455. So Title V, we haven't got our allocation yet, so they haven't even told us. Last year was about 60,000 in Title V. Title IV is about 123,000. So that's where we take for like our SRO officer for the elementary that floats around. It had been in another grant. It was coming out of that grant. I'd forecasted to put it in Title IV. And they're not saying that it's not coming. They're just saying, go ahead and plan, be proactive in case it doesn't get released. And this is after July 1st when our plans and everything were due. We met all our timelines. And now
When you
they're
say
saying-
they, you're talking about the state board?
No, the U.S. Department of
Okay,
Education.
yes, department.
Yeah. So the state board, our state board has said there's a likelihood that it won't come. There's a chance it could come. Be prepared either way. So that's why we looked. Yeah. So we're prepared to absorb what we need to. And then the other things, like our esports program is in that money, our after-school program. So then we'll have to look at some set $7 and some other dollars to pay for that if we want to keep it. We know we want to keep it. So we're just hoping it comes through. But there's really not anything that we wouldn't have to cut any positions. Like
No, we don't have monies in the positions, so that's good, because that's usually where most of, 80% of our budget goes to anyways. And it impacts, like we have the adult basic ed, we have instructor, we get the state aid for the state funding for it, but we also get some federal, like 15,000 in federal. So we'll just have to make sure the supplies, like we use step 7 for the supplies, just, if we need that. So we are making contingency plans, and that's why we are being always very frugal and fiscally responsible to make sure that, in case stuff comes up, we do have plans and we don't have to just get broke trying to come up with some solutions. Just wanted to update you that we, probably around July 15th, so it's next week, we should have the turf coming to Riverview High School's football field, and after that, it's conservatively, I think it's around 18 days that it will take them to install it. So hopefully, after the first week of August, we'll be able to have our voice on that field. We are getting ready to put the request for proposals for our baseball. Mr. Chapman is working with Thrasher to finish up those plans, just because we had them done, but we have met with FEMA a couple of times, and they have done walkthroughs. They went to football field, to the baseball field, to Southside's football field. They looked at our storm drain damage at the bus garage, and they found some extra things that we had to get done at the baseball field, because it does, look
When you say
rough.
baseball field, talking about Riverview's field?
Yes. So that added more that we need to put into our plan for bids. So that will be coming out soon. We will also be getting the bids out for Phoenix Center, because that's been, the walls have been torn out, but we have not put it back together yet. So, as I said, we have been meeting with FEMA. We have been making sure all our debris removal efforts, or the stuff that we have had in salaries, that everything gets reported to FEMA, so that we can get the reimbursement as to the highest degree of what we could get. So we have been at it. With our next meeting, I think, is July 16th with them. So I think that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
July 16, you said was next.
Yeah, FEMA.
Okay, announcement of future meetings. July the 24th, 2025, regular board meeting here at the central office at 5 p.m.
4.
Okay, this has 5, I'm sorry.
I'll put it up on the board website.
I just read what I see. Okay, if we have a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
I'll second.
it's 25 after. You're at 23. 5:23. We have a motion by who? Ed. Second by,
Angie.
all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.